Hello, dear lovely students. Welcome to our statistical channel and good afternoon also. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about primary data versus secondary data. Many students asked me this question, so today I'm gonna talk about this question very briefly. Hopefully you can enjoy this video and please subscribe on our channel. So guys, the difference between primary and secondary data is primary data are fresh. Okay, I repeat that primary data are fresh information collected personally for the first time, and secondary data on the other hand are information already collected by the others or somebody else. Primary data is original or unique information and the secondary data is not original or unique information. Primary data doesn't need adjustment, is focused. Secondary data need adjustment to suit actual aim. Primary data surveys, observation, experiments. Secondary data internal records, government published data, etc. Primary data is qualitative data. Secondary data is quantitative data. Primary data observation, experiment, interview, and the secondary data research methods, searching online, etc. Primary data more reliable, more time consuming. Secondary data less reliable and less consuming. Primary data needs team of trained investigators. Secondary data doesn't need team of investigators. Primary data is costly and the secondary data is economical. Primary data is inadequate. Secondary data is collected. Primary data is more capable to solve a problem and the secondary data is less capable to solve a problem. Primary data is suitable to achieve objective and the secondary data may not be suitable. Primary data is possibility of bias exist and secondary data is safe from bias. Primary data is research or his agents. Secondary data, then who collects primary data? Primary data is not so necessary, but the secondary data is quite necessary. So these are the 16 differences between primary data versus secondary data. So my dear students, I hope you can understand each and every points of primary data and secondary data differences. Okay, so now I want to talk about classification. Classification is the process of arranging the available facts into homogeneous groups or classes according to the resemblance and similarities. The definitions of classifications is the process of arranging things in groups of classes according to their resemblance and affinities. According to Secret's classification is the process of arranging data into sequences and groups according to their common characteristics. So characteristics of classification. The process of grouping a large number of individual facts of observation on the basis of similarity among the items is called classification. Chief characteristics of classification: all the facts are classified into homogeneous group by process of classification. Classification may be either real or imaginary. Objectives of classification. Classification is the process of arranging data into sequences and groups according to their common characteristics. Number 1, to condense the mess of data. Number 2, the present facts in simple form. Number 3, bring out clearly the points of similarity, dissimilarity. Number 4, to facilitate comparison. Number 5, to bring out the relationship. Number 6, to prepare data for tabulation. And number 7, to facilitate the statistical treatment of the data. So these are the meaning of classification and characteristics of classifications and the objectives of classification, guys. So today In this video, we already learned about the primary and secondary data differences and the classifications, examples, characteristics of classifications and objectives of classification. So hopefully you can enjoy this video. Thank you so much and stay connected with us. See you again in my next statistics video.